instant search in Vista. If you've got Windows XP and you go to the Windows Update site, you might notice something called the Windows Desktop Search 4.0. And what that is that's essentially the instant search that's built right into Vista. They're trying to make that work with XP. This Vista from the ground up was just built around this whole instant search thing. And what it does is it builds an index or a database of everything on your computer. So all the programs you have installed, it just knows what their names are. All the files you have on your computer, even if your My Documents are set to save on the server, it's smart enough to look there and build their index. And it looks at the file names, but also what's inside them. Same with emails, contacts, and appointments. So as you can see, the instant search actually extends itself into Microsoft Outlook if you're running Outlook 2007. So I'll show you what that instant search does. You'll notice when I pull up my start menu that I don't have a run box anymore. Now that is something that you can turn on, but there's really no need for the run box anymore. And for several reasons. It's because this search box is now a search and a run all together. So like I said, the instant search remembers programs. So if I was just to type the word Word, it's going to come up with any programs first that start with the word Word. And then after that, you'll see that it popped up some files, and then it popped up some contacts. So it's always going to display programs first if they're a match. So rather than me clicking on my Start button and then going to All Programs, then to Microsoft Office, then finding Word 2007 and clicking it, I simply type in Word, and I can now click the Word program at the top or just hit the Enter key. And especially quicker, now that I know if I type the word Word, I can simply type it and hit Enter very quickly without even having to wait for its search results to pop up. And when you hit Enter, you're always going to run whatever's on top. Now, just be careful if you aren't exactly sure what that search result's going to be. You're not going to want to do that. But since I know if I type that in and I get Microsoft Word, it's a lot quicker for me to run Word right off the bat. Now, if I wanted to find something about a spam issue, that might be I'm looking for a spam presentation that I've done in the past. Or that might be I'm looking for things from customers about some spam email they're getting. And I've got a lot of stuff about spam, so I'm not going to see it all here. So I'm going to click this Search Everywhere button. And this is going to open up the Instant Search program in its entirety here. And I've got a heck of a lot of stuff, as you can see here, about spam. It's right now sorted as default by date modified, and it's obviously I get a lot of emails about people with spam issues. But I'm looking at everything right now, you can see by this menu on the top. Because instant search is that it's instant because it's not doing a live search in your computer, it's going back to that index it built. Because every time you save a new file or get a new email, this just processes that too. So if I change this to email, you'll see I'm going to quickly search through 30,000 emails, all the files, all the documents, and there are my emails. I can change this to documents, and just as fast I should have information about all my documents containing the word spam as well. You see it found 32. The power of this, though, is you'll notice that not a lot of these things actually have the word spam in the name, because the instant search is actually searching inside every file, including PDF files. Pictures, music, and then other. Other would be any type of files that Vista doesn't recognize, like a database file or things like that. Text files it's going to show as documents too, though. So moving over to Microsoft Outlook 2007 to show the instant search capabilities, I can simply type in anything here. I can type in the word spam, and it's going to show me everything in Outlook that contains spam. Now, instant search in Outlook is going to, by default, search for just the folder that we're looking at that time. But you can, with this down arrow here, tell it to search for all Outlook items, and that's going to look in all your different folders. You can expand those searches to very quickly, show if this email has an attachment, or if it's from a certain person. So I say I want to look at stuff that has spam with attachments from Jerry. And I should be able to pretty quickly get those results. So you see that in the matter of 4 seconds, I had 8 emails from Jerry with an attachment about spam, having gone through 30,000 emails. Because yes, unfortunately, I do keep about that many things in my inbox. So the instant search is pretty darn close to instant. Very powerful tool. Now, just note that since it was really built around Vista, you can, like I mentioned, get it for Windows XP. It's called the Windows Desktop Search 4.0. There was actually a 3.0, and now it's up to version 4, so if you're running it, I would say upgrade. It is going to slow your computer down a little bit, though, if you're running XP versus how it would work in Vista. It's just Vista's made around it, and they just found ways to plug it into XP after the fact. It's still a great tool, though. The Sync Center. There's something in Vista now called the Sync Center. And what it is rather than having to just tell individual folders to be able to work offline, so you can view those documents if your server's down, if you've got a desktop, or if you've got a laptop, you can take it on the road and have all your files. They built this program, or it's like a control panel menu, to easily manage and set up all different file syncs. You can also set up different email syncs. There are a lot of power management improvements with this because it's doing it when the computer is idle, but you can also control the power management settings for when to sync, say if you're on battery. And then there are a lot of speed improvements as well because it'll sync in the background a lot more efficiently, especially now that Surface Pack 1 is out. So I'll show you how the Sync Center works. I happen to have a sync set up on my computer, so I'm just going to open the Sync Center. And what I do, just like I suspect most users are going to do, is they're going to have their documents directory set to be viewable offline. So here's my offline files. You'll notice that I've got this folder that's it's on this server Wisdom, and that's just what our file server's name is. And here's all my stuff. So to create a new sync partnership, it's as simple as going up to Sync Partnerships and making a new one. You can schedule these now to happen at different times. There's actually a nice easy wizard that'll let you do it instead of having just the options of do it at log off and log on. Where the Sync Center is most efficient now is dealing with conflicts. And you'll notice that I happen to have a conflict here. What happened is I made an adjustment to one of my meeting note files yesterday from my desktop, and then later, while my laptop was disconnected still, I made an adjustment to that same file. Well, the computers now are saying, because they're looking at the same place, well, wait a minute, Brian, your September meeting notes are on two computers were updated when they weren't talking to each other. So see, this says the files was changed on this computer and the server, because when I did it from my desk, it changed it on the server. You can right mouse click on this, and now it's going to give you options to resolve that conflict, as where before it was a pretty cryptic message, not exactly telling you what to do. So it's going to take a little bit to pop up and give you all your different choices, because it does give you quite a few. You can keep this version, and it makes it very self-explanatory because you see it says on this computer, and then where the other file is. It's before it didn't tell you that in XP. So I can see that, well, one, I know what modifications I made here for my laptop, and that's on this computer. I see that this one's substantially larger, so it's got quite a bit more. And then it was actually modified a lot more recently than the other one was as well. So if I want, I could keep both versions, and it's actually smart enough to rename the other one for me, but I'm going to tell it to keep this version. So what it's doing is it's updating my computer with knowing that that file's there, then it's sending it to the server. Now you see my conflict is gone. You can go to your sync results and see if you have any other errors or warnings with the other syncs. And you can set up that new sync partnership, like I said. But you can do more with the sync partnership than just offline files. You can actually set this up to sync with Windows Media devices. We can sync it up with our music system we have here at the office. We have a network music system. At home, I've got this set to sync up with the videos on my computer for my Xbox. So little things like being able to view your movies across the house. Even syncing your mobile device. If you have like a PDA that doesn't have cellular service, this is where you'd set up that sync as well. So it brings all those different things into one nice, easy to manage